All right. So, want to say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. Welcome to another great edition of the Logan's Hour. Today promised to be a very, very great edition as always. So, as you are here, sticking still, we have so many good things to discuss today. And don't go away because we are here, as I stated, we are here to discuss some national issues. All right, so I have my microphone very clear now. Ha ha ha. So we are here to discuss some pretty good national issues. So want to say to all of you who joining us for the first time, we want to say welcome to the Logan's Hour. Some of you who always join us, we want to say thank you for always joining us. You know, today already 6:22. We have no time to go back and play all of the intros as we usually play. So, want to say to you all, welcome again to another great edition, and let's have fun. Let's enjoy ourselves, and let's uh, have a great show here today. So, to those of you who joined us for the first time, I want to say thank you for joining us. Those of you who will join us later, we want to say also you are welcome to today's edition. So, let's take a short intro and we will be right back. We will be right back. Yep. Take a short intro and we're gonna be right back. So trust me. All right. So we want to say to all of you, want to say thank you again for joining us. And today promised to be another great edition of the Logan's Hours. And today is February 27th, 2024. And always today we are here a little late, but we can rest assure you, we're gonna have some good time here. I can say that for sure. I can sense that we're gonna have a good time. But today I'm late. I am late because it's 6:25, and I know some of you already know what's up. Some of you know what's up, so it's not a problem. But let's go straight into it. This is why I decided not to play too many intros because I know the intro is going to eat up our time, and we're just going to be here for at least just an hour. An hour. Like today, we will be here for an hour. So we we're gonna talk about a few issues. Primarily, we will talk. Today is Tuesday. Those of you who always know what we do on Tuesday, so Tuesday is not no screen date or any of you here. Some of you know what my Tuesday show is all about. Tuesday is about motivation. Tuesday is about motivation. So Tuesday is the motivational hour. We're gonna talk about God. Uh, so get ready for that. We're going to talk about God today. We'll also choose little light on Liberia as well, and we'll talk little politics. You know, then we'll also uh maybe choose small light on our community as well. You know, the community is still beautiful, so we can show big light. We can just show small light on our community. So. Uh, with just small light on our community. Then we will also uh, We'll also talk about some other things that are relevant to the discussions. So let's go straight into our discussion for today. We want to say to all of you who joined us, we want to say thank you so much for joining Logan's Hour. We are grateful that you are here. And I see my own cousin, Olivia Keepon Johnson, the woman she's following today, and you know her when they say who's first say. Now my late cousin. So then when I hear say somebody want be her, I can say, hey girl, what you want be her for? Because she force it, she can have her own opinion, she can talk it straight. I know so now when I see you on a post, I can say, who don't be plow with her again today? But she get nobody make plow her, she just chewing her tongue and what when it feel you wear it, when I feel you just take it you know that somebody or who's ever song say when my cat feel you wear it. All right, so Olivia, welcome, my brother Jalia Johnson. Uh Welcome again, Regina Watkins. Welcome, my dear sister, my wife, Sama Princess Liwe Hamu. Logan, you following? I see you. Clearly, I see you. Welcome. Aloysius Tito Harris, my dear friend and brother. They are the liaison person to our MA. Welcome, my brother. And to all of you who join us today again, we want to say thank you so much again for joining us. Today is another great day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. You know, hey God, the little thing I can be doing here, thinking that, oh, you know, it's not going anywhere. It reaching you. It reaching you, going small, going small. So don't overlook it. So if you don't know, you are on the Logan's Hour. You can follow us on Instagram. Let me say, oh, I uploaded on Instagram. Sorry for that. You can follow us on Facebook. On Facebook, we are Logan Hours. You can also follow us on YouTube. On YouTube, we are also Logan's Hour. So it's a great day to be here. I can say to all of you who join us, I'm so excited. So today, I want to use this time to say a very, very big, happy birthday to the CEO of Esho Residential and Consulting, Mr. Arvin Bello Logan. Today is your birthday, and as you celebrate another year, we want to say we wish you God's blessing. And he also the board chairperson. He said he on the board. I don't want to get a position here where somebody come and say, oh, you know, like bro, put in a position in there. He also member of the board of the um Liberia, the United Basa Association in the Americas. So, Mr. Logan, want to say thank you so much for serving in that capacity. And we are grateful to all of you who always join us here. And I want to say to my own dear big brother, Mr. Robert Bestman, for your preferment. You was appointed by His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka. You was appointed as the mayor of Painesville. So, Robert, you already know how I feel about you. You already know how I feel about you, Robert. You're my own big brother. Go and serve. Go and serve. You know, most of the positions, when we occupy the positions, sometimes it seems as if we are the laws by ourselves. But I know you are a very humble man. You're someone who will better try to clean that side of the country. So I want to say, Robert, in all fairness, make use of the opportunity and show the Liberian people what you're capable of, and let's move on. And let's change Liberia together. We all can change Liberia together. So we want to say to all of you who join us here, my sis Easy and uh, everybody, I want to use this time to say thank you so much for joining us. We are grateful you are here. And I try to put up something here shortly. But remember, we are on the Logan's Hour. Today we're going to talk about motivations. But before we go ahead and deal with our motivations, let's talk about Liberia small. Another big news have surfaced from Liberia. Hey, Liberia, that's small country too, but they get big news them. So today, while we were waiting, we heard that the president of the Republic of Liberia returns, His Excellency, former president rather, George Manuel Weah. And the sad news about it is that former President George Manuel Weah, he was denied from using the newly constructed VIP lounge. And this has sparked discussions from everywhere, everybody talking about it. Our President Bouaka government is starting on a very wrong footing. And in my own honest opinion about this issue, which of course I'm not into government and I'm not close with the authority to advise the president what to do, but I think the president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boaika, who has been recognized by all the parties to be a stakeholder or to be a area statesman or whatever name they give him for that matter. He have to handle some of these things with caution. He have to talk to his political people because I think some of what is happening here, his political people, they are so charged to the point where they want to prove themselves to be working. I think that was the same thing that happened during the George Weah administration, where some of his people wanted to be seen as working. And these are the things that make president to appear so bad. And at the end of the day, the Liberian people will have no option but to get you out of power. So, President Bouaka, I know your intentions are well, but when it comes to the smaller matters like president, former president, or lawmakers passing through the VIP terminal, that shouldn't be a focus point. That shouldn't be issues that we have to be discussing at this critical juncture. Because you see, at this critical juncture, what I expect from this current administration, regardless, let me say this, because I know some people say, oh, he and the president children and they all friends. Yes, though I'm friends to the president children, but regardless of our friendship, the president have to start well. And what I think is going on, dating from the tenure positions and all the drama and noise around his presidency, I think it's not offering well at this point. The president need to talk to his people. The president need to take some decisive steps. And right now, with all the issue about the president, some things are not going the way it's supposed to go, and his people trying to please him and prove a point to the other people. I don't think it's making sense now. I think things is going helter scatter, and the president need to put his foot down as soon as possible. These are how government fails. These are how president become very unpopular in a split of a of a second. So, President Bouaka, this is just my 2 cents. I know you've been in power forever. You've been around the corners of power, and just a little boy. I have interest in Liberia, and who knows? Who knows? You're not being power forever, Papa. So, while you're in power, do your best. Do your best. Do your best, because if you now will not do what the Liberian people is actually expecting, you will dash the hope of many Liberians at this point. Many Liberians. So, want to say to you, Pape, hey, Daniel Kume. Hey, my brother, long time, Daniel. How's everything? So, want to say, Pape, do your best. And to all of my guys who are there and their hopes are been so hard, thinking our President Bouaka comes to power, or you will just get into position. They say limit your expectation. Amara Kone said that one. So today we have this other big news here again. I knew it because I have so many friends in CDC, and I also have so many friends in the Unity Party. And trust me, man, one thing you can take away from me is that I'm not a member of any political party first, but I know what's happening in some of the political parties. And God have blessed me to the point where I have friends in CDC, I have friends in the Unity Party, and I know what's up. I know what's up. But today, the former ruling party, the Coalition for Democratic Change, uh, their chairman, Mobake Molu, intelligently resigned from the party and also resigned from being a chairman. But in his letter, he said he resigned from being a chairman. But you can deduce from the writings, and you can know that obviously that Mobake Moru Jr. he has resigned from being a sedition, and also he has also resigned from being member of the party. I just feel for some of my friends right now. I know right now the scene where I used to vote Unity Party people to CDC people too. I will also say the scene to y'all don't get felt me because it will be the scene with Unity Party people. I used to say the reason why they were angry, they were fighting to come out to power, everything used to get to them because some of the guys then were broke and they needed to come back to power. The scene with CDC looking right now. Some of the CDC men, some of them getting broke right now. CDC have a protest that is coming up on April 6th. That protest has been announced, and that protest will be led by some of the executives of the Congress and the Coalition for Democratic Change, and some of them who don't want to come in front to make it seem as the CDC, but they are saying that protest will be led by Liberians in the opposition. That's how they want to do it. So it's almost like similar thing during the Unity Party and the opposition term. The opposition never wanted to come to all Unity Party. Let's say Unity Party people never wanted to come as seen to be. They didn't want protesting, but they will always use a smaller group like the COP, or they will use another group, soup, or certain group that will try to protest, and they will just join with those groups and come and express their dissatisfaction. This is a similar thing the Congress or the former Coalition for Democratic Change will be using. They have announced a protest that is coming up on the 6th of April. So April 6th, get ready for the real massive protests, depending on if the people show up as they announced. Because today I listened to former President George Weah. I think he's about to come back to try to strengthen his political party, his base, because I heard him say something in that direction when he was being interviewed. He said, "I'm coming back to work together, and we will strengthen the opposition, and let's move from there and see what's happening." So don't sleep on President Weah today. President Weah announced that, so you can rest assured. That's why I'm keep calling on the Unity Party government. If you people will lead Liberia in the right direction, you got to be very careful how you treat the opposition political party, because you don't want to see CDC coming out, because CDC, when they coming out, it won't be easy. And you know them when it comes to protests. CDC know how to protest. They ain't like Unity Party people who, when it comes to protest, they can be jacking. So Mobake Moru Jr., the former chairman of the CDC, has resigned officially, and now he said he will be going into civil society. He will be going to advocate for injustices, and he'll be trying to fight for good governance. So there it has been this rift between the former president and the chairman of the political party, Mobake Moru. Both of them, they were never on speaking terms. And at a certain point in time, Mobake Moru were heard on tapes talking some things about the president, how the president used his state money to go on trips that make no sense. There were a whole lot of things that Mobake Moru said. But today, officially, Mobake Moru, former chairperson, has resigned. So Mobile Modu resignation letter is very, very long. I would have loved to read it, or I would have loved to read some of it. But let's try to read some of it and see what Mobile Modu said in his resignation letter. So all of you following us, we want to say thank you for joining us today. And we are grateful you are here. And to my mom, Miri Boyino Logan, I know you're watching. I want to say thank you for joining the Logan's Hour. Some of you who follow us on Facebook, want to say thank you. Some of you who will follow us maybe after the show, we'll also say thank you for following us after the show. And to the Indiana Old Timer Association, I know you guys are gearing up for the summer because the summer is coming up shortly, and everybody want to know what's happening to the summer. So this summer here, get ready. The Young Men Association, we will be outside. We'll be kicking dust. So get ready to kick dust. So until then, let's see where the former chairman Moba Molu said in his readout. But don't forget, today is what? Today's motivational hour. So don't mind people talking politics. So you can't think only politics will come and tell. We'll come and talk about motivations. So some people that lie down need hope. They need to get away from what is troubling them. We will talk about that as well. So today is not about politics. So I know politics when it comes to politics, yeah, don't want to talk politics, but we're going to talk more about motivation. So we're going to talk about God business. We're going to talk about Gripo. Pastor may say Gripo. The other people call it Yahweh. So the other people call it Yom Rikoyon. So the other people call it John J. Gripo. So any way you call it, that's your business. Yeah, that's your business. So any way you call God name, that's how you call his name. But we got a special way to call his name. So let's see what the former chairman wrote here. Let's see if we can talk about some of it. We can just read portion of it. We're going to read all of it because we know it's very long. So let's go back to the former chairman here. We say Moba Molu. He said, today I resign my position as chairman of the CDC. The following letter to the standard bearer outlining the duties. You see that? Let's keep the CDC and Liberia peaceful. My resignation letter. Your Excellency, George Manen Weah. Okay, I'm going to read it very slow. I think I'll be too fast because I know my mom and other people watching. They will love to understand what I'm reading here. So I'll be a little slower in terms of being running through. But it's very long too. So that's why, let me drink something small before I can start. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. He said, Your Excellency George Manen, we are Standard Bearer, Congress for Democratic Change, CDC. February 27, 2024. Dear Mr. Weah, I'm writing to formally tender my resignation as chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC. Consistently, I'm also stepping down from the position of the chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change. So the CDC is the party. The Coalition for Democratic Change is the conglomeration of other political parties that come together to make the CDC to win the 2017 election. So parties that came together to help boost the CDC up to win the 2017 election. When it came together, they had to drop that name CDC, which was the Congress of Democratic Change, and take on the name that will suit the alliance called Coalition for Democratic Change. So that's why he's referring to. So he's not just resigning as chairman of CDC, but he also resigning as a chairperson of the Coalition for Democratic Change. That's why he was saying that. So maybe as we go along, I'll be explaining some of it if possible. He said, I'm writing to formally tender my resignation as chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, consistently. Consequently, I'm also stepping down from the position of chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Despite resigning from the chairmanship after 6 years of service, I want to assure you and the National Executive Committee that I remain a committed, lifelong member of the Congress for Democratic Change. Undoubtedly, I have faced numerous challenges, particularly during the 6 years of the CDC governance. However, I hold no resentment toward anyone for the difficulties, and I do not desire conflicts. That's the former chairman saying that. So just that paragraph tell you that something not right. Something not right. He said, through all these trials, I am thankful to God for granting me the strength and patience to persevere. Despite the hardship, despite the hardship, they are not the primary reason for my resignation. Moba Modu saying that one. However, one factor influencing my decision is the diminishing opportunity for me to effectively fulfill my role as the people chairman. Hey God. As an advocate dedicated to supporting the people, it is disheartening to encounter constraints that may limit my ability to carry on my responsibilities. That's Modiba Molu. Mr. Standard Bearer, however, after careful consideration, I have chosen to remain positive and continue contributing to the peace and stability of the CDC despite resigning from the chairmanship. That's Modiba Molu. As emphasized earlier, I hold deep love for the CDC and immense gratitude towards the hundreds of thousands of loyal partisans, young militants, and foot soldiers who have supported me during my tenure. Therefore, in my effort to uphold internal party cohesion, I'm exercising caution in my words to prevent any potential crisis. Although some may seek to exploit this situation for personal gain, my commitment to the party well-being will prevent me from endorsing such endeavors. That's Modiba Molu. Modiba Molu telling you straight up here. Though I know some people now, they will tell the other thing here about my resignation to run with A and say all kinds of bad things about me. But for the party to move on, I will not speak to A. I will just let it slide. As the longest serving chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, I'm humbled by the overwhelming support I have received from our dedicated partisans across various demographics and locations. This support has contributed to a long period of stability, peace, and adherence to the rule of law within the CDC. Despite encountering challenges during our governance, we have achieved significant milestones, including upholding the rights of our partisans, maintaining a peace and democratic political institution, and ensuring the CDC's strength and competitiveness. Yeah, Modiba Molu. Mr. Standard Bearer, regardless of recent election outcome, we have made remarkable progress together. As your first militant since 2005, Modiba Molu say no, not me. So Modiba Molu been for 2005. Then Joe, we are getting power. You even get him a job. Hey man, that's bad too, man. We are that bad. We are my friend. That one by bad, and I agree. And I agree. As I say, and I agree. As your first militant since 2005, I have been one of your most steadfast political soldiers. Oh, wow. While my loyalty to the CDC has been unwavering, I have occasionally found myself in disagreement with you, driven solely by my principles and love for the party. You hear that? Because the man loved the party and his principle for his party, he have disagreed with the political leader on numerous occasions. He make it clear here. I'm proud that despite crucial hindrance, we have painstakingly kept the torch of the CDC burning, such that even those who don't believe in its efficiency now look up to it as the most potent political mechanism of redemption. That Modiba Molu, not me saying that with my people. Having served in various capacities over nearly 2 decades, I have diligently fulfilled my responsibilities, always with good intention and with all malice, even in my mistakes. Hey God, Modiba Molu, I feel your pain. Resigning from my position has undoubtedly been one of the toughest decisions I have ever faced. Yet, it was necessary to uphold the stability of the CDC and prevent any internal discord that could disappoint our loyal supporters, particularly the youth who have placed their trust in our party. So not just resigning, but the man want to disappoint them. So many things the man want to discuss, he want talking on the radio, but he said, I will just let it slide. I will just keep it to myself. Those are going, are crying, and I let what happen. But just because I want disappointed, I will just let it go. That's me with that mobile model saying it. He said, similarly, the prospect of opposing you deeply trouble me, which is why I opted not to assume the chairmanship when Mr. George G. Solo was removed in 2013. Moreover, I harbor doubt that I could have accepted the chairmanship in 2018 had I been offered a suitable government role, foreseeing eventual disagreement or necessary contention with you in the future. The man use BB warning there. What he trying to say is, if I were going to be offered at least a better government job, I was never going to take the chairman position because I know how you, Mr. President, can think and how, Mr. President, what you stand for in terms of your principles. And those things that you stand for, they are not what I stand for, and they are not what the party stand for. Because for you, you won't do it the way you want to do it, and because you feel you are the most popular person in the party, so your words should be the law of the party, which of course he disagree with it. That's why he put in PP words that he explaining. And to disagree with you, most often, if from everybody, it would seem as if you and him having a lot of problem, and it will not be good for the party. So that's why he was explaining in that short thing there. So then he come back here, he say, well, now that I'm no longer chairman, I have newfound freedom to advocate for social justice and champion the interests of marginalized communities, irrespective of political affiliations. So now, what he's saying here is, he's saying to you intelligently that I resign from being chairman, but I also resigning from being a sedition. That's what he's saying to you here. He said, now that I'm no longer chairman, I have newfound freedom to advocate for social justice and champion the interests of marginalized community, irrespective of political affiliations. That's why he's telling you shortly in that little space. Then he comes down further to further elaborate on what he meant by that. He said, in the coming month, I intend to engage in consultation with relevant stakeholders, both within and beyond the CDC, allowing to rally passionate individuals to safeguard democracy, promote good governance, and uphold the rule of law. Simply telling you that while you'll be doing your rally, you'll be doing your muya zigbe, you will not see me there. And when you not see me there, let me let you know that I will not be there for it. Then he come by here, he say, while I trust that the CDC will continue its effort to address injustices and hold the Unity Party-led government accountable, I'm committed to contributing from a safer society perspective, advocating for peace, good governance, human rights, the rule of law, and social economic equality for all Liberians. So what Moriba Modu is saying to you here short is that while I trust the CDC, and I know why the CDC will continue the efforts in addressing the situation with injustice and all the blah, 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 blah he named here. He said, but for me, Moba Molu, the one with my mind power born, I tell you, Joy from Joy, we are in 2005 to become party chairman after to become his strong supporter in 2005. 2013, I assumed the position of being a party chairman. I brought the administration to power, hoping that I will benefit something. I ain't benefit anything. Right now, in the end, why I ain't get power no more, nobody gonna use my hand to take anything from the fire. So before that time come, why y'all be running around, say you're protesting, let me tell you what I will do. That's why he explained here. He said, why I trust that the CDC will continue its effort to address injustice and hold the Unity Party-led government accountable. Mobake Molu, I am committed to contributing from a social society perspective, advocating for peace and good governance, human rights, the rule of law, and social economic equality for all Liberians. So they make call it short. And I'm joining you. While y'all be in the street yelling, I will see y'all, I'll be passing in my car, but when I see somebody want to beat y'all, when I see somebody chunking their friend with rock, when I see the other thing that it makes sense in the society, I will speak about it because I come from the social civil society background. So Mobile Molu is telling you in short that, and I segbe muya muya, I don't do that one. Ibiamina. I agree. I served the party here. I brought it to power. After war, the president I gave me nowhere to work. Everybody had a little thing. Jefferson Koji was city mayor. The other person was on his side. The other person was on his side. Siafa made green and what to nuka the eating. The other person chewing the boom. Can you babara then? Beat your fan then? Or Marcus Zeyu then to DEA. And everybody was chilling. The whole country was looking so enjoyable. Nobody auditing, nobody going to tell anybody, say, oh, bring performance report, no government reshuffle. So everybody was enjoying, he was not enjoying. The only thing they get to tell him, oh, you party chairman, oh, you're ready, you go call meeting to the party headquarters, you put grass in innocent citizens in more to choose, you to join the party, and he say, all that thing you did to him, he ain't get nothing to do, but he punish you to God, he sue you to God. But for now, why you going in your opposition life now, hoping that Joseph Boaka and his team will make mistake for you to come back, he not inside with you. That's why he's saying in the bill right already. He said, all that thing you're doing, April 6th, you're coming out to protest, June days, you're coming out to protest, there will be protests all around. He said, why you'll be having your protests all around simultaneously? He not joining any of that protest, but you'll be coming from the civil society background. And what Moroba Molu saying here in the other paragraph here. So y'all don't take it for fun. So Moroba Molu, that what he said in the paragraph here. So if you now who can understand and comprehend very well, so you can understand what he's saying from here. He said, why I trust that the CDC will continue its effort to address injustices and hold the Unity Party-led government accountable. I am committed to contributing from a civil society perspective. You hear that? Meaning, I ain't a so civil society man, and I'm part of no party right now. So intelligently, he's telling you that he have resigned from the CDC. Intelligently. He's telling you on paper that I have resigned because he leaving room for anything can happen. So he's telling you that why I'll be doing nothing, I'll be contributing for a civil society background. I'll be advocating for peace and good governance, human rights, the rule of law, social economic equality, and for all Liberians. He said for CDC or Unity Party people, he said for all Liberians. That's Boba Molu. He said, I appreciate the members of the independent press who, despite not always aligning with my preferences in their publications or broadcasts, mostly exhibited fairness and balance in covering our press conferences and interactions. Hey, Boba Molu. That one I sure one. He said, I know, my man. I know you got problem. I know you got problem with me. I know all the time I call you to the party to cover some of the thing here. Do it when I paying you, the poor when I give you all nothing. But you still manage to cover some of our little press conference and thing, some of our views were being made public. And what I go about, you will stay happy up. But say I'm leaving now, I no more will be the chairman of CDC. By extension, I no more a member of CDC. I tell you, thank you. You're balance. So now he leaving, he making plow. He say, you're balance. Then he decided to advise President we are now in this 1 year. In the conclusion, he said, in conclusion, I would like to offer one final piece of advice, Mr. Standard Bearer. He just has to say Mr. Weah or former President George Weah. They would sound better to be calling him Mr. Standard Bearer, Mr. Standard Bearer. The man already say he ain't too sure that he running again in the next 2029. He said, Mr. Standard Bearer, he said, in conclusion, I would like to offer one final piece of advice, Mr. Standard Bearer, which I have previously communicated to you in a briefing note. It is crucial to assemble a proficient team of forensic policy experts to engage with key Western capitals such as Washington, Brussels, number 10 Downing Street, and others. These engagements should involve discussions relating to international discussion made during our tenure, aiming to rebuild confidence and provide assurance to our international partners. He said, as we endeavor to revitalize the CDC, domestic and global political standing, I stressed the importance of prioritizing the enhancement of relations with Washington. Washington means Washington, D.C., and its eventual allies. Neglecting to capitalize on our historical tie with the U.S. would be a missed opportunity, especially considering Liberia's strategic significance with the United States sphere of influence. Therefore, strengthening ties with the U.S. and its European counterparts, it is a great step forward, even for a major opposition party. Namyu, Namoba Moru. He said, thank you for taking the time to consider this letter, and I extend my best wishes to you and the party leadership. Sincerely yours, Mobake Molu Jr., former chairman, Congress for Democratic Change. So, my people, there you have it. That's your son, Mobake Molu. He has officially walked away from the CDC. There you have it, though, Mobake Molu. So, I don't know now if Mobake Molu, of all people, can walk away. The next person we look to see walking away, and that will be a serial breaking news. That will be Jefferson Tamakochi. And when Jefferson Tamakochi walk away, it is done for the CDC. And, all the people that benefited, all the people that enjoy. Me, if I was in CDC, I won't lie to you. I won't resign. But to say we're going to get by in the street and sing Zigwe, Muya, Muya, I ain't going to get in the street because at the end of the day, the people have certain people there who, after sinking all the Zigwe, Muya, Muya, they didn't want to come to power and we will remain destitute and will remain sinking this Zigwe, Muya, Muya, and which, of course, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Because how can people then who never got in the swamp or who never sing the song or but soon we come to power, they don't want to start enjoying. Even the United Party here said today. Somebody I saw when United Party had their rally, they were all in the mud. Yeah, we kill ourselves for the paper yet. Somebody what they now. Somebody I saw papi. After a confirmation, you can't even put your hand on the Bible or your finger shaking. You don't come back to power. To the young men with all the exuberance, all the energy, they are so, so why I tell people sometimes, excuse me, my nose is itching. During campaign, I tell you, say, sometimes reduce your expectation. Don't carry yourself too hard where people will be fighting for a certain political person who come into power. All the people who come into power already have people on their mind that they want to put into certain political positions. Regardless of how you kill yourself, you ain't kill yourself, they will end up the day talk to people to put you somewhere. And I'll put you somewhere, you will not like it because you just take any position. But again, let's keep our finger crossed. You see, one thing I can say, I'm a student of sociology. And there are so many things you learn in social sciences. And one person who taught me criminology is this guy called Bauko. And when you do criminology, it will also make you understand that everyone is important in a society. Everyone. The criminals are important because the criminals we have to give rise to more police officers being employed. Prostitutes, they are also important because they also will encourage people, rapists, to pay little amount, not to rape people, children. Everybody for that matter is important. depending on your role you are playing. Sometimes your role might sound negatives or negative in the ears of people, but sometimes it might also sound positive in the ears of people. Papuaka that kind of power. Papuaka that kind of power. Everybody been waiting the paper can Labrador will change. Labrador stay the same. After Papuaka again, 2029, Joe Weah will come out to power. Because it's a clear reality that only two political parties playing around the corridors of power. When that CDC, it will be Unity Party. It's just America here. If that Democrat, it means that Trump coming by again. So it already clear. So if George Weah decide to play an active political role currently, it means after Buaka, Unity Party people will go by again and to be protesting and talk about all the evils. All the evils. So the thing here, why so I be telling my late brother there in the country there. I said, my man, if God bless you, if you can start your own business, you can do something for yourself. Don't depend on government. Because government can't, government go. All they give you is lies. That's why sometimes when they come into power, they say, oh, we are here for the masses. We are here for the masses. But put it in power, they call you asses. Who can tell me, say, Papaga eating three bony or naple the way he used to eat naple? No. Papaga having everything you want to eat now. Or the best of cars, the house generator can go off anymore. Medical treatment on time. My sister, I walk out and they're chilling. You know, they are for family. And which, of course, I envy them. They are my sisters. When I get to Labrador today, I will visit Pabuaka. Yeah, I will visit Aye. I will visit Rana, my boy Tantan. We always hang out, we talk. But it still remains that Liberia is for all Liberians. They think that happened from the history of Liberia, where only certain people who are close to power can enjoy the elephant meat, and the rest of the other people will just be hoping these things needs to end. We thought Papuaka coming to power, he would be in a direction that we would say, well, the Papa said he came to rescue, according to the mantra, that he will be healing in that direction, but seeing some distraction. Some of the distraction is taking people from positions that we understand they are in tenure positions. You can remove them gradually, but that will not allow you to sway away from your decision making or from the because all the distraction, people on radio, the tenure position, then it slow you down. The next thing, president won't come to the country to use 10-minute and all. We have to be having 10-minute discussion, 10-minute discussion. Those things are not things that we're supposed to be discussing. We're supposed to be discussing the progress of this new administration. Oh, now when you see the road from Moriroff to Lofa, the Pape has tried and the road is on course. Now they were working on Nima County Road. The electricity is making headways. And now we have young people being employed. We are making this place to be enabling that private companies are now coming to Liberia because they are seeing the government to be more credible. So our young brothers and sisters has been employed. Those are the things we want. In America, yeah, who cares to know Trump? Who cares? Except you're a politician. If you're not a politician, you don't care. I remember the first time, you know, when you come from Liberia with a political mindset, because that's how we all look. Even Liberia, you ask the 10-year-old, 11-year-old, all they know is politics. Everything that politics. To the point where when I came to America the first time, I went to work, and I think the next day was election or something, or the few weeks were election. Can you imagine the people had a whole campaign going on? I'm confused. I said, but I thought the election in November so time. They said, yeah. They said, but the campaign going on. I said, well, how? My brother said, go watch your TV. We won't post CNN on that net. We saw campaign rallies and people speaking in a hall and things. I was like, oh, I thought the people be all in the street, all in the community yelling, I will say, our party, is a biggie. I did a lot, yeah. Election day. The player working the job, say, you know what happened? All those that will come to work on election day will have 50 cents. Before I look, I saw my men, all the men were born here. All of them want to work. I said, but I thought the men said to go vote. The men said I vote, pay my rent. The day I'm telling you, after the election, we want to work the next day. Nobody discussing who won the election, who win the election. Nobody care. Nobody care. Everybody just passing by everybody. We're talking normal conversation and we're not even discussing, oh, who's a new speaker, who's a new representative, who's a new this, oh, why the president policy. Nobody care. Everybody passing by each other doing their work. I like, then I found myself in a different environment compared to Liberia. Liberia ought to have election. Then we discuss it. In fact, every Atai center will be the discussion about the new president. The first thing some people, here you go. Papa get work. Go. Let us so. The Papa get work. The Papa work here now is to see how best he can make that country in a way where even the least man who have his third grade education will have a job. Even my old man and what in the interior who can read A. Well, even when you draw the A that A, you cross it a day. So you put it in the middle, the old man can see that country horse, they need to have a job. On skilled laborer, everybody need to have a job. That's the thing, oh. If everybody cannot get the job, if everybody cannot be able to feed their family, the issue about politics will not leave on in people's mouth. And for it to happen, the government can do all. The government need to make that country enabling to convince investors that you can come to Liberia, you can invest, your money will not be, people will not rob you. Look at today. Today, common birth certificate are in America here. I got my birth certificate, the Memphis birth certificate, and he asked for my name. I call my name. He asked for my place of birth. I call my place of birth. Then I say, hey, hold on. I will just send you copy of my birth certificate. You will see my birth certificate number. You just go in the system and look at it and fix it, or just print new certificate. You know what I meant to me? The man said, brother, Natty here called system looking in Natty I do their own people. I said, so the time I fill my birth certificate, how can you pull my birth certificate record? Is it I want to buy a funeral, brother? That people they way on the way. And I say, are you kidding me? He said, I get it, brother. We can't even find that record. Said I want to all that thing you did your birth certificate since I know 11 or 12 years ago. That paper wrote on, and that paper we even know where it is right now. I said, so how do I find my records? He said, my man, you want to get a new birth certificate or you want to be thinking about the old record? Yeah, I was shocked. And those are the challenges that Papua having right now. These centers. You see, the other day we had a serious conversation here, and I think I'm trying to have a panel of discussions where we can have to talk about decentralization, because that's one of the major areas that Liberia is lacking. And digitizing the system is crucial, and as well as decentralization. Because if we cannot decentralize, if we cannot digitize, the both of them work hands in hands. Because if you digitize, you allow people to work remotely. That whole idea of everybody getting to pull computer bag, go to office. So, God. Liberia not work. So now I'm thinking about it. I work in Liberia, though. Don't get me wrong. I work with 2 institutions. I work with Insurance Company of Africa as financial advisor. I also work in a clandestine institution, which of course, I want to mention here. But can you imagine? We took our computer bed, we go to work. We finish doing all our work. We save our files in our computer. We come back home. Anything we want, we gotta print it or we carry it to the person, hand deliver it. Then we finish with what is that? So you coming home now, all of a sudden, boom, somebody rob you, your computer gone, all the document gone. No system to store anything in a cloud. No centralized system to say we got a big bang here. Every document, every work that has been done today, it has to be stored. That tomorrow you can pick up from there. Or even if you can make it to work, you can work remotely. That everybody will know what you're doing. We don't have those systems. And that's why the other day in my conversation with my little picking, where in Ellis White, and we're having a conversation, he started laughing. I said, Liberia needs an AI president. Liberia needs a president who knows about computer. Liberia needs a president who knows what is happening in the world today. The reason you see Paul Kagame, who is my friend, My friend, Paul Kagame. After the show, I was texting it. Oh, Paul Kagame, who is my friend, he moving Rwanda in a direction that the whole world is praising today because of one thing. Because he knows what is happening around him today in today's reality. But unlike us, we go for people who know nothing about what is happening around us, but they have people who they brought in and they assume to be the ones who know what is happening around them. And that has been our problem for a long period of time. And that has to stop. Because imagine you are the captain of the ship. You have the blueprint of the ship. You want to bring in people on board to say, these are my vision. These are the things I want to do. And they will help you to stir the ship into where you want to go. So, I understand the other day where I spoke to, I have the former presidential aspirant, Mr. Tiawon Se Gongolo, or consider Tiawon Gongolo on my show here. And consider Gongolo told me something that never went too well with me. And we were talking about digitizing. And when I sent a link to him, he tried to hook on the link and he has some difficulties and he never knew what to do. And when I spoke of it, he said, hey, Philip, to be honest, I'm a BBC. And I was confused. And I said, but Counselor, what do you mean BBC? He said, I was born before computer. So the man wanted to become president of the country. He was born before computer. Okay. In short, he tried to say to you, oh, the teenager computer teenager, why you're so tech savvy. I used to it. What I can do, I can write it on paper and give it to somebody, and the person will transmit it into the computer, which of course is not a bad thing because he's educated. But we need presidents who knows about what is happening now on the blue screen. We need president who will be able to use WhatsApp. We need president who will be able to use Facebook. We need president who will be able to go into the stock market and understand what is happening on Wall Street. We need president who just not just know about Buchanan, Maryland, and all those area there. We need people who are visionary. That's what Liberia need. We need people who can see from beyond. Yeah. Y'all want to know how important this is? Until when you look at your phone, the phone that's in your hand right now, you'll see a little round circle on that phone to tell you how the whole world has moved to AI. That little blue circle you see on your WhatsApp or on your Messenger ain't for play. It's telling you this is the new world order. That little blue circle you see on your Facebook that appear on your Messenger, and when you have your WhatsApp, you see that little new circle is appear. It's called AI, artificial intelligence. And that AI, whatever question you ask AI will give you solution. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need an AI president, a president who can find solution to almost anything. Olivia is smiling. Yeah, somebody along going, oh, you know, she bought it. So kind of chew here. And when you hear me talking, me, I'm gonna go operate. Yeah, somebody, you know, the time for someone coming closer, come and go play soccer. She just bought it all kind of baba, cassava, leading, potato, green, yeah, just eating during the winter time. Yeah. Somehow, you know, SSR, a popular announcement. Yeah. So we need an AI president. Let me say this. No disrespect. Pabaga, he been in power for 40 years. Joia, he plays soccer all the years. But we need a president who knows what is happening around us, my people. It's very important, yo. It's very important. You will not know how important this is, but it's very important. Even the 10,000 people that Boga say, oh, they will be computer literate, and in those are fly. The librarian make it go to fly. The only thing they're going to set you down, put a computer in front of you, teach you basic Microsoft. The first step in Microsoft and not going anywhere further than that. Because why? They have no employment for you. That's all. And so if you need to come out right to the community, equal board, and walk around like everybody else and know how to use whatever technical skills you have. You're like a man who learn how to drive car and you don't have a car. You only walk with the knowledge in your head every day. So that's a serious issue that it's not funny, but like what Mr. Cummings said when he was running for the presidency, let's target stomach infrastructure. Let's target how can we bring back dignity to our people. How can we do that? Look at Liberia. Liberia have a whole year round good weather, rainy season and dry season. How can Liberia cannot feed herself? That Liberia got to go places that Israel, got to go even to America that can do sometimes in the winter, they have to do greenhouse farming where crops cannot grow outside. They got to plant it inside. They can feed you. So what do you think happening? Inherently, we have some problem. We have some problem. And the problem we have is everybody claiming to know it all. Now you go to one ministry right now, for example, Pabaka appoint me as the managing director to FPRC. The first thing that happened when I get to FPRC, instead of me having these conversations with my janitor, coming down to my secretary, coming down to my deputies, my assistant ministers or assistant directors, to understand the problems confronted with that place and how can we all work together to elevate that identical place. The first thing I see myself to be, I'm their boss. In fact, everybody got to listen to what I say, out of my way or the highway. Everybody else, you guys are all subservient to me. And if we do not change that mentality, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Me, I always say this. I got one voice, one me. I will die one day, and everybody else will die. I'm scared of nobody that God created. I can stay in anybody's face and tell you how it feels. Even some of my friends, they were in government. Some of them were big people. Like today, what he need government, Buaka government. Some of my friends, they have director position, they have minister position. And I will also look in their faces too and say the same thing if they are going wrong. I look at some of my friends who had positions in Buaka government, have security people walking behind it. And on the phone, I said, hey, listen, what's up? I'm disappointed in you. Oh, wait, me. Hey, brother. I said, listen, you want to unfriend me? You want to block me? You can block me. It means nothing to me. But things that we expect you to be doing as a friend, after we have struggled for years and you come to power, you're doing the same thing as usual, like the other people been doing it. What we all complain about, I am disappointed. You have to be ashamed of yourself. He said, what are you talking? What are you talking to me like that for? I say, your wife and your children should be ashamed of you. He got fed. For that day, he never sent me text again till he left power today. And you think how I'm afraid? I will still meet him. We will shake hands. I didn't even get no ill will for anybody. One thing that God created me differently. I can say it to you, I can look in your eyes, I can say it, regardless how I say it, how it will hurt you. But I got nothing against you. I'm just telling you it to protect you. Because nobody under this sun here, you are better than them. We are all equal, but simply different in our mindset as how we think and how we conduct our activities. That's all. So not because God bless you, somebody call your name, give you small position, then you're better than somebody else. So for me, no soul that was created by God, I'm afraid of. One thing I put in my mind, I would die. And when I die, I will be buried. And when I be buried, I will be forgotten. You, with all the money, all the power, all the influence, you will die. They will bury you. You will be forgotten. The same way, when you go to your room, you finish taking bath, you can wear your trousers, you will put one foot inside at a time. When you go to lay down, whether you bed 40 bedroom hall, you will lay down in one bed. So, why I gotta be afraid of you? You eating, you will eat with one spoon. You go to sleep, you will worry about death, like me. You go to pray to God for repentance. I don't care how you reach, you will get on your knee and humble yourself and submit yourself. So why should I be afraid of you? A mortal being created by God who can die them and say, I will be afraid of you? No man. That's how so now I see people who think in their weak minds that they want to intimidate me. I can just laugh. I say you intimidating yourself. If you need somebody to intimidate, go to your house, intimidate your wife and your children. Because those are the people you have control over. I was small. My mind, my father knew I was a different child. I was this person where you can just ride over me so easily. Though I knew the consequences of some of the things I used to do, but I was this person who, even among my peers, I have big brothers, but I wasn't afraid. I'll tell you how it feels. If you don't like it, fine. You want to beat me, that's cool. But I'll tell you how it feels. So that's the same approach I always care, even in my today's life. You do something to me, I don't like it, I walk to you, I tell you how I feel, you don't like it, we'll scratch it up. But I will just tell you how I feel. That's why to the point where even if I find people who is older than me, far older, you can be old as Methuselah. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me. Because I can look in your eyes and tell you how I feel. That's how I remember sometimes when I started in the community, when I first came to the community, people never knew me. And later on, after we entered into the community politics and I started doing newsletters. And when some people see that name appearing on the newsletter, they'd be like, oh, you see, and some people, I'll be like, oh man, or young boy, or whoever person is cool up. Because you can say the worst about me, it doesn't move me. I don't care. You can write whatever about me, I can read it. It doesn't, I don't care. Your opinion means nothing to me. Because why? You are just a human being like me. If you get money, you just feel you just got money. If you get power, yeah, you get power. What I mean, but it means nothing to me. That's why you see me when I go places. They can tell me, say today, Beyonce and Jay-Z and LeBron G and whoever person coming to the place. I don't care. You will not even see me running to say, oh my gosh, LeBron G, let me take a picture of you. I don't care. Because I was created by God. I'm as important as He is. So I don't go when I hear somebody coming and I'm so overwhelmed and be like, oh my gosh, look at the person, look at that. I don't care. I believe in my mind, I'm the most important person on earth. I'm an original. There were 500 million sperm, my papa in my mom's womb, that were heading for the same direction, and I'm the only one that make it. So how can I see another person who was created, see where I was created, then my skin start itching? I don't. I can go to a party. They can tell me, say, guess who on the party? I say, who? They say, oh, that's Barack Obama. I don't care. If Barack Obama don't walk to me and say, hey, Philip, can I take a picture of you? I really give a damn you are there. So that's some of the thing where I don't look and say, oh, he's arrogant. I'm not. I'm not. But I'm as important as to the person who's sitting there, regardless of their status in life. Regardless of their status. They make an E, he can go to the bathroom. I can E, I can go to the bathroom. They make him wear a trouser, one foot at a time. I'll wear my trouser, one foot at a time. They make him wear a shirt. They see where I can wear my shirt. They make a table. They see where I can table. The only difference that maybe you get a hot top and sit that inside, but they see washing skin will wash it on the day. I'll wash my own day. He can get on a knee to pray. I can get on my knee to pray. He can lay down. They see where I can lay down. So what a difference that when I see my body will start itching. No reason. So no man created by God intimidates me. You can be a pastor. You can be a sinner. You done. And sometimes when I'm talking about people behaviors, sometimes people feel I hate them. I don't hate you. I just hate your behavior. I just hate the things that you do. You see, God, when God decides to punish people, He don't punish you because of you. He loves you. That's why He created you. He wanted to have a family. But He punishes you because of the act that you are involved with. He punishes you because of the sin that you have committed. You think what God said you'll be judged. He didn't tell you you'll be judged because you are Philip Logan. He said, Philip Logan, I will judge you because of all your evil deeds, all your colossal deeds that people don't know about. That's why he would judge me for. And before he judged me, guess who can judge me? I can judge my damn self. And I like to do that. My wife knew me for that. My children knew me for that. So the first place if I want out there, I'm a boss man. I'm a boss man for in my own house before I go outside. So when I see some people who want to see me and try to make me to sound differently, to make me talk differently, to make me do things differently, I can smile. You can only give me pieces of advice. I can choose to take it or leave it. Mr. Howard, what's up, my brother? Yeah, I can take it or leave it. So the whole world we are living in today, it is yourself first. And God is the only one who will be the judge. Don't let nobody fear you. Don't let nobody intimidate you. Don't let nobody make you feel that God will not accept you when he comes because of whatever thing that you are involved with. We are all sin and fall short. So today or tomorrow, the one thing I can rest assured any man, what is promised unto man, nobody know when that time will come. It's death. And what are you lucky? What are you sugarcoated? What are you talk about it and say abomination? But the fight that your ass will die one day. You will die one day. And before that time comes, prepare your mind. Like when I read the talk something and the other day I was talking something and somebody was like, what? You can think like that? I said, yes. I have sat down and realized things happening. It didn't mean I want to sit down and do it or it's an abomination to do it, but because I know that that's things that will happen, that things that I promise that will happen. So I put myself in a situation to know that when it happens, what will happen to me? So I imagine myself in that situation before it happened. Though my wife didn't like it sometimes, but I have sat down for some time like this on a Sunday and imagine myself losing my wife, losing my children. And when that happened, what do I do? And I started to think about it. I've sat down like this sometimes and said to myself, what if I go to work today and I don't come back home? What do my wife go for here? What happened to my children? Will they still be disciplined as to what I'm trying to instill into them? Whoever comes and take over after me, what will become of my children? Will they be loved or will they be treated differently? So all these things, I think of it. I know some of our people don't do it though. Some of our people feel that when you talk about death is an abomination. But yeah, we all will die one day. The reason why sometimes you minimize your stress, when you minimize your expectation, when you believe that this thing that's supposed to happen to me, my question to you then who is supposed to happen to? You know, sometimes when something that happen to some people, they can say, oh Lord, why me? Why this thing happening to me? If it ain't happened to you, who is supposed to happen to? Give me one name. So it was destined to happen to you. But what matter is when it happened, what do you do with what happened? In the book of Matthew, when they say, now what goes in the man defile him, but what comes out of him defile him, it's a simple thing. I'm just asking you. What happened doesn't matter. It's what you do with what happened. Some people die from people, other people find defeat, other people find fear. But some other people find faith. And sometimes people use these things as a means of starting over. It's like what happened in Japan after World War II. When they bombed Japan, all the place that got so obliterated. And what happened came out of that place after World War II. Japan turned to be a whole new city, producing Yamaha, Suzuki, and all the things they were never producing before. It's like you here today. Go to bed one day, you get a fire on your house. The next thing, you get up, you stress. Because adversity introduces a man to himself. When you're at your worst moment in life, Your mind thinks so fast, think 7, 8 different ways. Then you start to make way out of no way. Before you know, bam, the thing you never had before, you see yourself having it. Why? Because the time you had a little, you were a little complacent. But something can push you on your toes that you have to go and double up your efforts. Hey, we have the former president of the Liberian community of Indiana, Mr. Arvin Tanu Penner. He's watching. My dear brother, how are you today? Hope you're doing great. Yeah. So a verse that introduces man to himself in times of difficulties. Hey, my brother Franklin Murray. They made myself, we used to debate the issues in rehab there. Franklin, how are you, ba? Murray. Yeah. So that's some of the things that happen. In difficult times, your mind is at its sharpest. The time you can be like, damn it, from the morning up to 2 o'clock and you're getting before 4 o'clock, I'll be suffering from two things. Serious hunger, dehydration, all kind. So I need to find walking. Before you load the old man where your man even on, you start passing all in the corner, you checking so you ask, you see somebody, be like, oh my man, you gonna draw water? Yeah, I can help you to draw water. So you draw the water, man say, my man, hold nickel. You say, okay. The other person brushing grass. Oh, can I help? Yeah, the person get you down before you load, you get fling. The thing that what you know you couldn't do in a normal time. But situation have pushed you before you realize it, boom. You see that to be something that you can get money out of. You start passing around that before people know, you become the person who you never thought you could be. So that's in similar fashion I'm talking about here. Sometimes we all big and bad, you know, our little corner where all the total nation and we chilling. Yeah. But there's a situation. You see, sometimes I can tell people, many people who want to live for God. Let me tell you today, everybody want to live for God. Everybody. Nobody you ask and say, oh, my man, you want to live for God? The man will tell you, say no. All the people who you see today, they are pastors. They are not pastors by mistake. They are pastors because of the tests they have overcome. Any pastor who have never overcome a test, he has not yet been called. I repeat myself. Any pastor or preacher or overseer or evangelist who has not been tested, he has not been called. Before God called you, God have to test you. And sometimes what we call temptation is not a bad word. I have said it here over and over. Temptation is a very good word. Temptation means to test for weakness. To tempt is to test. And that's why God does most of the time. If you say, oh Lord, because I know sometimes when you want to live for God, you're so passionate, you start reading the Bible, you start having some dreams in the night, then you feel that, oh, God talking to me now. You see the other dream I had today, oh, that God talking to me, not God talking to you. God will test you before he uses you. And your test will be different from another man's test. Once you put in your mind, you announce it, you make that popular pronouncement. You know, when the Bible says Jesus began to preach, it means Jesus began to announce that repent for the kingdom of God is at hand. That when you begin to announce that I will put the word down and live for God, God first will say, my son, you sure you want to do that? You say, yeah, Papa, I will live for you. Then you start telling yourself when you pray now, oh Lord, I'm an empty vessel. Use me whatever way you think fit. Put me to test and I will not let you down. And soon you start to say that in your head. God said, you know what? I will test you. And when you pass the test, I will use you. Most of the pastors and preachers and overseers who you see backslide so easily because they have never been tested. So because you have never been tested, when the late test of God come, they backslide. For example, Job in the Bible. Those of you who read, so I can encourage you to read the book of Job because the book of Job is very short. Job was a faithful and an honest servant of God. And God has blessed Job so much to the point where Job had abundance. And what the devil say? The devil say, you see that man? Oh, that thing, I think that he love you, he worshiping you. Those are vain worship. God said, what do you mean? He's one of my faithful servants. He said, put him to test and see if you'll continue. Now, God had to instruct the devil to put Job to test. And putting Job to test, it wasn't that God want to kill you. So now God didn't want to kill you. I can rest assured you contemporary 2023, 2024 pastor, and then the one that come in, God been it. When God decided to put you to test where you'll be on the interstate and God just shake your battery, your car go near the semi-truck, push you on the other side, you come back home. When you give you that testimony, why you talking about it when God made your wife to go to the hospital because of kidney problem? When you think about that one, God made your job fire you. Why you think about, hey, the way my job fired me, how my children, how my mortgage, and the post say, get up on the hall, we're going to repost the hall. The first thing you say, so Sunday, then you tell the post, say, my pocket be that chair, what happened? Say, because I got to take out my responsibility too. Then you start backsliding. Before you know, God being is just a history. Those are some of the way God tests people. I can tell you, in whatever situation, whatever challenges left posed to you, if you withstand those tension, God will use you. And when God decided to use you, even man will not comprehend how fast things will be happening for you. That's why he said in Matthew 6, verses 33, he said, if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, anything you want, he will give it to you. So you see what he said? He says, seek God. He says, seek ye first the kingdom, which is the dwelling, and his righteousness. God will give you anything. So to live for God is one thing you have to do. That's why you see sometimes when I talk about religion, people get issue with me. I say I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not part of any religion. People get problem because God told us only one thing in the Bible, and he remained constant with that. He said, be holy as the Lord is holy. So the only thing we have to portray is holiness. We are under obligation to be holy as our God is holy. Religion was created by man. Religion was created by man. All the things here, one person called and said Catholic, Methodist, Buddhism, Hinduism, Barthologists, or Heronian, all those religions, God cared less about them. God didn't even know what they call Christian before Muslim in the first place. The only instruction God gave you, be holy as the Lord is holy. The only thing God knows about is holiness. That's why sometimes when I hear some people preaching about, then God said, Peter, I will build my church on this rock. Some people, even some pastors who dumb, they go put a church on rock and all they construct church on rock. Because the statement from God, he was not saying, Jesus, he was not saying to Peter, oh, go put church on rock or go build church. He was telling Peter, he asked a question. Who do you think I am? Some say you are a prophet. Some say you are Prophet Elijah. Some say you are this. Some say you are that. And Peter said, you are the Most High. You are the Son of a living God. And he told Peter, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you. That was revealed to you by my Father. So in short, he was saying to Peter that the statement that you said, I'm the Son of God, I'm the Most High God, was revealed to you by the Holy Spirit. And upon that statement, I will build my church. So believing that Jesus is God, you will be saved. Those are the statements that he was saying to Peter. Upon the statement that he made, Peter, I'll build my church. He said, oh, Peter, yeah, go put a chair on some kind of rock and you pebble and all that kind of crap. So sometimes I know it's annoying for for me to stay here and talk about I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I know we have our religion. We go to church to fellowship. I go to church to fellowship most often, but I don't go to church to pick up a religion and run with it on my head to the point where when anybody asks me who are you, I just gotta be, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. I remember one of my employees walked to me one time. He walked to my office and he said, "Oh, um, okay, I know you're a Christian and I'm a Muslim. So convince me to become a Christian. I will convince you to become a Muslim. Whoever person best convince their friend, then their friend will join the other person religion." I just sat down quiet. I said, convince me. He thought, oh, he did Muhammad, did Muhammad, da Muhammad, da. Everything he said had Muhammad inside. Then I said, who are Muhammad? He said, Muhammad was inspired by God. He was one of the prophets and this and that and this. I said, but then what the prophet got to do with me? I said, you are preaching a religion to me. And which, of course, you are the wrong church and on the wrong bench. Because, first of all, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. So how can you convince me to become a Muslim? Why will I leave holiness where God told me to be holy and limit myself to become a part of a man religion, to become a Christian? No. I said, even if you see me going to church, it doesn't mean I'm a Christian. I go to church to fellowship. Because in fellowshipping is where the presence of the Lord is. So I don't go to church to protect a religion. Even when it asked Jesus, oh, why would you break the Sabbath? Why would you heal somebody on the Sabbath day when the man was standing in front of the church yelling, oh, Hosanna, Son of the Most High, Jesus Christ, help your servant. When Jesus made him walk, when all the pagan, the centurions, they were all yelling, oh, you see, he about to break the law. He broke the law. And Jesus said, why would you break the law in the name of your tradition? Isn't this man a son of Abraham? Yes. But if you are a son of Abraham, should he be crippled? No. Why? Because in the kingdom of God, nobody should suffer. Nobody should suffer. The other day, I was talking about the kingdom. I think one of my sisters who were watching the show here, she felt I was sounding a little redundant. But the reason why I sounded redundant, because I needed it to go in your subconscious. You see, when you hear something one time, it just passed through. The second time, it passed through. The third time, you get a little conviction. You be like, they may say that thing over and over and over. So it stick on your mind. The fourth time, it enter your subconscious mind. You be like, okay, the thing the person has said. Let me find out what the thing is all about. That's why sometimes when I'm talking about some things and repeating myself and repeating myself and repeating myself, it's for you to know that what I'm saying is important for you to know it. Because you cannot know God except you know who is God and why he created you and for what purpose you are here. Listen, all the things that we can be looking for on earth, we will die one day. Everything will leave right here. Even we get $25, $40 million just for earth. After you die, that money not going nowhere. So the best thing to do is to prepare our soul. Is to prepare our soul. And our soul is all that God needs. The reason God created a flesh. One thing I always say to people the other time when I started here, go back to Genesis 1:26, when God created man. And God's sole purpose of creating man is to have a family. God have angels who serve him, and God needed a family. In short, God needed to expand his territory. God is a king. And you know, every king gains glory from territorial expansion. The bigger a territory, the bigger is that king glory. So because God is a king and he wanted to expand his territory, so he created us to fill in the same word as his family, his earthly family. That's why when God noticed that we have sinned against him, coming to the end of the Old Testament, God himself decided that since people are not going by the Lord, I will bring myself as a living sacrifice. So God have to reduce himself to come through what? Through a flesh. called Jesus. And the reason God had to do that is because God said, the heaven is mine, the earth is what I designed for my children, which is us. So God could not break his word to come with wings and fly on this earth. We were never going to trust God. The first thing we're going to say, how can you say this place is for all and you come in with wings flying here? So God have to pass through the same process that we all pass through. Going through a woman, coming to cry as a baby, and saving the word. And saving the word. Last 2 weeks ago, I had a whole sermon preaching here about tithing. And tithing never went well with some people. Yes, yes, yes. Let me say this. I know I ain't supposed to say it. I ain't supposed to say it because the person that called me, the person on the phone, and the person myself, we went through it for a little while. My own little big brother. And he tried to convince me about tithing. And I understand from his perspective. And he said, "Oh, but the way you are saying it, and I know you're coming from the Old Testament about when the laws were abolished, when Jesus took on, and all those things. But tithing necessary for the church because the church need to pay rent, the church need to do some other things." And I respected that. And my point to him was, at least, big brother, don't tell them to tithe, but also just tell them to give. Because some of the churches make us guilty when it comes to tithing. They make you understand that if you do not pay your 10%, it means the war is going to an end. So if you pay your 10%, everything. So he and myself have the conversation and say, "Okay, Philip, I understand. I understand your point, and you are so right. You are so right. But we can't preach that right now because we need a man to pay the rent." I say, "Hey, kudos, people, but at least I'm glad that you understand where I came from." So you're on the Logan's hour. We're gonna take a short commercial and we'll come back, recognize some people, and we'll be out of here because we're here for just 1 hour today. Today wasn't a real preaching set, Celine. So we're just doing some little job. So we'll be back shortly. All right, all right. So I want to say to all of you here, thank you so much for joining us again today. We'll be back on Thursday. Today was just a short little teaser. And before we leave, we want to use this time to say happy birthday to Mr. Arvin Bello Logan, CEO of Esho Residential and Consultant. We are grateful that you are alive today and you ought to join us in having all of these conversations. So I want to say happy birthday to you. And also we want to say to my dear brother and friend, uh Robert Bestman, I want to say congratulations on your preferment. You take on the new responsibilities. Just do your best, my brother. Do your best. So as we were saying here, we will come back. We'll have more of these conversations. I know sometimes it can be annoying when I come in, when I'm speaking there, try to overemphasize. The way I can make it seems. Some people don't like it. Some people be like, they may, no, they begin. No, but it's not about they picking here or they not they picking here. The Old Testament, that's when we had the laws. In the New Testament, we don't have no laws in the New Testament. So in the Old Testament, we have what they call prophets. In the Old Testament, we have prophets. In the New Testament, we need prophet anymore. We need prophet because Jesus Christ has come and died for us. So all the prophet, messenger, and people that were here, we don't need them. But when I say they want again, people can say, "Oh, you know the picky here, yeah." No, no. In the Old Testament, we have some major prophets that I disagree with people saying, "Oh, major prophet, minor prophets," or they were all prophets. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentation, Ezekiel, Daniel. Those were the five major prophets according to how the people can say, according to the confident. But I don't see them to be major prophet. Minor prophet, they have Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jeremiah, Micah, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Malachi. Those were all minor prophets. But you see, one thing I always say, if you hey, good morning, my brother Jefferson Kolako. If you want to study the Bible, the other day I will hear, I will bring I'll bring somebody here who will try to drill us around to on the Bible, because some of these things are very good. You know, I can say to anybody, if you want to find a book that is so sweet and can never get old, it's the Bible. Just pay key attention, focus, and pay attention when you read the Bible. You will enjoy it so much to the point where you will gain revelation. You will reach to the point where you will say, "Ah, some of us we are reached to that point. We are reached to the point where some of us saying, ah, yeah." So you gotta understand. In the Old Testament, the book have um sessions. So when you go to the first five book in the Bible written by Moses, the first five book, you can also know that those were the early books, and those were the books that had a commandment, and those were the book considered are the Lord's book. So Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Number, and Deuteronomy. Those were the book of laws where God gave most of the instruction in our first five book. Then coming from Joshua, Judges, Ruth, First Samuel, Second Samuel, First King, Second King, First Chronicle, Second Chronicle, Nehemiah, Esther. All the books, they were all history, just explaining about how people crossed the Red Sea and all the historical book. Now, if you first understand, if you want to read about laws, you have to take the first five books. If you want to just read history, then you go for the books that are just named, which of course is good. It's good. Trust me. You're good to know the history of the Bible, the genealogy of some of those kings. Like I always say to people, there were some bad kings, there were some good kings. Moreover, when Hezekiah supposed to be dead and he asked God to extend his time, and after God extended his time for some time, and most of the king he born, they were all bad kings. Some of them were bad kings. Now, if you're looking for wisdom, if you want to read the Bible and you want to have wisdom, then you should start looking for a book like Job. You know the story of Job. Job is a wisdom book. Psalm, read the book of Psalm. It'll give you wisdom. Proverb, Ecclesiastes, Son of Solomon's. Those are wisdom books. Those are all the Old Testament. And I know some people ain't like to read the Old Testament, but those are wisdom books. Excuse me, sorry for that. Those are wisdom book in the Old Testament. So now, if you want the gospel of Jesus Christ, then you have to go for the first four books. And in our first four book, they are considered as a transitional book. That is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they are all considered a transitional book. They are all supposed to be of the confident. They stay place in the Old Testament, has to do with the death and all the things. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those are books to get the gospel, the account of Jesus Christ. Those first four books give the account of Jesus Christ. Then, one important book to read, I always encourage people to read this book, it's the book of Acts. A lot of people didn't know about the book of Acts. A lot of people can just pass the book of Acts. And I can say if you want to read exactly what the Bible says, just take one book at a time. Read that entire book from its beginning and where it ends. The book of Acts will give you, though it's a transitional book from the old covenant to the new covenant, it will give you exactly from Moses to Jesus. So all the things where people talk about animal sacrifice, the baptism by water, the baptism by the Spirit, the focus of the Jews and the Gentile, you'll find all in the book of Acts. The book of Acts is a very interesting book to read. I would say to people, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they are good. But if you read the book of Acts, you will have more historical facts. You will get to understand from Moses to Jesus Christ and why people use animal blood, why people baptized by the Holy Spirit. You will have to know all of that. Then, the thing here today where you won't hear about church. If you want to know about the church and the people, what we talk about today, then go back to the letters of Paul. You know, I said Paul wrote a lot of books. Paul wrote a lot of books. So if you go back to the letters of Paul and the churches and the people, they got to go back to start reading from Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrew, all of that. You will read everything about Paul writings. Those are all letters. Even if you go back to James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, George, Jude, all the one, those are all letters. So now, one book that I always see people scared to read. Hey, Heron Poshi now. How are you, my brother? It's a book of Revelation. So, you know, we'll come back on Thursday. We'll go more in depth. We'll extend on some other things. But we have been here for 1 hour 42 minutes now. Yay, my brother Heron Poshi now. How are you, my brother? Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. You know, as we read a word to just come up here to expand and tell people, you know, I think sometimes when we young people who read a word to, we encourage some of our friends who are out there and thinking that, oh, they got been in for old people, in for young people, in for whatever people. So some people who will see us here and say, well, you know what, if they can talk about God, I too can be brave to talk about God. Mother Comfort, how are you? Thank you so much, my old man. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that's Mother Comfort. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thanks to everyone for what the silly see. Okay, so you're not talking to us. All right, so I want to say to everyone, thank you for joining us today. It was a real good show. You know, Thursday we talk about politics and other things. Today we're here talking about little politics. Though we also talk about the Bible. And I want to say to my own man in the Indiana Old Timer Association. I know the Old Timer Association is getting ready now for the summer. I saw their whole calendar event is up. The Old Timer Association calendar event up. So for some of you who want to know what's going to be happening, because it is up, so I'm privileged to also read information from on there. So there's a registration of the Old Timer. It will be coming up. That will be on my system. The cutoff. Okay, these are internal thing. I think so. Let me just talk about where they have games coming up. So practice session going to start on April 6th. So those are you who getting ready to start playing. Practice session going to start on April 6th. Then the opening of the season. I am Barrow going to be on April 13th. So get ready for April 13th. And those are you who want to become member of the Old Timer will be having a membership fund drive. That will be on May 18th, 2024. Membership fund drive will be coming up 2024, May 18th. Then Juneteenth celebration will be on the Old Timer versus Indiana Lone Star will be on June 22nd, 2024. Juneteenth is my anniversary. My wife and I will be celebrating another anniversary. July 4th celebration will be the Indiana Old Timer versus a team from other state. That will be on July 6th. Then the July 26th celebration that will be given to LeBron Association of Indiana. And the awards that and the fundraising, Old-Time will be having award night and fundraising. That will be on August 3rd, 2024. Then Flag Day celebration that will be given to the Indiana Youth and Sport Committee. That will be on August 24th, 2024. Then Labor Day celebration will be Indiana Old Timer versus other state team as well. That will be on August 31. Columbus Day will be Indiana Old Timer versus another team from other state again. It will be on October 12th. And the closing of the summer, don't forget, Indiana Old Timer here. So the closing of the summer going to be another IE and Barrow game. That'll be on October 26th. Then the winter practice will end. Then they go back to indoors. So the Old Timer have a whole lot to do. Whole lot to do. So until we beat again, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. And I can see to all of my guys right now, I want to get outside. This is the Indiana Lone Star team here. Indiana Lone Star team want to get outside and show their talent again. Then followed by the Indiana Young Men Association. The Young Men Association waiting. They can't wait to get outside for this summer. They will find the most powerful team in this community, the Barrow side of the Old Timer. So top players on that team. Then from the Barrow side of the Old Timer, we find on the other side we have the IE. IE got a lot of top players too. So Barrow and IE will be meeting most often during this upcoming summer. So y'all get ready and get used to it. So we're gonna have fun as usual. And don't forget, we will meet again on Thursday. We're gonna. So until we meet again, we want to say bye bye and good night.